Hello there, everybody. I'm Jorge Varela for the buttonsmasher.com, and joining me today is Caduce Campbell. Just like last time, hey, you remember when we were talking about Senran Kagura and the rumors that, hey, you know, there may be a brand new water gun-based Senran Kagura featuring Yagi with a new hairstyle and all that kind of stuff. We only had a single picture that time, but hey, October the 4th is here, and now the weekly Famitsu magazine has given us some new information of Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash.
Love that name, and I think we were really close. Like what we were guessing was gonna be what it was gonna be about. We were pretty good. I think we deserve a nice round of applause for that, you know, and a +1. You guys can like this video for us being that. You know, go back and watch the other video. I think there'll be an annotation for it or something on this video.
So the game is for PS4.
Yes,
and is gonna come out on March 2017, very similar to Estival Versus that came out on March 2015. So the dates kind of align there.
It does align there as well. I mean, I'm kind of a bit sad that it's not a Vita title, but I'm still happy it's being made. Like, I know it's gonna be gorgeous on the PS4. It's gonna look great. And you know, I mean, it's not a Vita title, but it looks amazing from what we're seeing here.
I mean, I can kind of understand, because I remember for Estival Versus, they had to do a bit of a downgrade. So in Estival Versus, there's multiplayer, and you can play on PS4 with 10 characters at a time.
Yeah.
But on Vita, you can only do 4 characters before everything just kind of breaks. And so this game is going to be mostly a multiplayer game. It'll be a 5-on-5, so that's 10 characters all over the field playing in a team. So I don't think the Vita would be able to handle that many characters all at once.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be able to cope with that. And for those of you wondering, I mean, I did mention it in the previous video. We did talk about it, and you know, there are more characters. You know, there's like 30 plus girls, which is amazing. And normally when they announce Senran Kagura games and they say 30 plus, it means 30 characters that we're gonna get in the game, and the plus is gonna be DLC. Like, that's pretty much what I'm thinking, because that's pretty much how they do it. So 30 plus, at least we'll get like 30 characters or so, and then everyone else is gonna be DLC, which I don't mind paying for Senran Kagura DLC because it's Senran Kagura, and they got me by the balls. I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, 30 plus just means that there's going to be more than 30 characters. But yeah, I mean, it has been confirmed that there will be DLC, which does include characters, and they do hint that there may be some collaborations involved. So maybe we might get something similar to Dead or Alive 5, to the Ikitosen stuff, where, you know, all of those characters that are not Senran Kagura characters, they come in Senran Kagura form with, like, that same art style, and they show up and they start, you know, kicking ass. Although here, they'll just be shooting everybody, which that's another really big detail about the game. You know, every single girl in the series, they all have their own abilities and their own transformations and all that kind of stuff. But here, none of that is going to apply. Everything is going to be based almost solely, almost exclusively on the weapons that they're going to be having.
Yeah, exactly. And there's not going to be any sort of distinction between good and evil characters. Like, pretty much every character is just up to who you want to play with and who you want to match up with and whatever have you, which is great, because that means like you and I could be on a team together, and we don't have to worry about, oh, I'm a good, you know, shinobi and you're a bad shinobi. It's just basically I pick my character that I want to play with, and you pick Ikaruga, and we go into it, you know, pretty much.
It seems that the weapon that you're going to be using will dictate more like the class of character that you are. Is like, okay, you know, I want to be like a heavy tank character, so I'm going to use the Gatling gun. Or like, I want to be really fast, so I'll use the dual pistols or something like that. And there are different cards in the game that act as upgrades. So maybe you're a very heavy character using a Gatling gun. You're like Yomi with a giant gun, but you want to be faster, right? So maybe you get like a card that makes you run faster, or makes you shoot faster, or the reload is not as slow, and stuff like that. I can imagine that happening.
That would be super cool. I mean, that is, to me, I'm just like, yeah, that is kind of what I would like to see from this title, you know, just being able to customize your character, choose who you want. So each character is technically like a skin, you know, if you want to think of that, and you just jump into the game, and it's team battle and all that kind of stuff, and I guess it works. Plus, all the weapons are like the water guns, so you are 100% correct on that one. You called it.
I mean, it was obvious. I mean, just looking at the color of it,
yeah. So that is a great thing. It means that, one, the characters don't die, which we don't want our characters in Senran Kagura to die, do we?
They just get really, really wet. If there's one thing that they will never die from, is dehydration, because they're always getting wet.
I'm kind of wondering, like, when they get splashes, is that they just get soaked so much that they just sort of, like, the kill animation, basically. Are the characters gonna just fall over and just, you know, be like, ah, or something, or is it just gonna be?
I'm assuming there's going to be like special abilities, you know, like I think that will be the distinction for every character, is that, you know, maybe they don't have the same weapons or the same abilities or whatever, but maybe, you know how Katsuragi has like the tornado kick or whatever?
Yeah.
Maybe she'll have like a tornado, like a water whirlwind or whatever. She'll have like a water tornado. Maybe Asuka will like maybe summon that giant frog and like spit all over everybody, or like I don't know.
But how will they die, dude? Like when they get
well, maybe
killed off.
through that, like through the, you know how with the abilities that you use, like different parts of the clothing comes off and all that kind of stuff in Estival versus and all that.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be that. Maybe like depending on your weapon and depending on the character, they will unlock all these different like special moves and stuff because they can't use their shinobi abilities. They have to use like what they got. So maybe like maybe there's a card that has like an ultimate move or something like that. And maybe from there you'll be able to make their clothing explode or something. Look, they have done cooking, and their freaking their clothes explode there. So believe me, they're gonna find a way.
Water is somehow gonna make your clothes explode, and it's gonna make a lot of other things explode. But
yeah. all of that pressurized water. Yeah.
Exactly, it's gonna be fun. I'm loving it. I mean, it's also gonna have a story mode, which is great for us. You know, those of us that like to play single player modes. It's gonna have a story mode. We don't know exactly how intense it's gonna be, but you know, it being developed by Kenichiro Takaki, it's gonna be Senran Kagura-ish. So it's gonna have a Senran Kagura style story. It's going to also follow along the similar storyline as the usual Senran Kagura games, as well as there's going to be a next Senran Kagura title that's going to be in line. It's going to be developed, in line with this title as well as the storyline, which is great. I mean, just being
so yeah, the wording for that is a little weird because it says that excuse me. It says that the Peach Beach Splash is the name of an ancient shinobi water tournament, which that's freaking weird. But it says that there is a game that they're planning to develop from this title. Like, the wording is a little weird. Like, there are plans to develop a new Senran Kagura game from this. So, like, they're taking this idea and making a sequel, or are they using this as like a kicking off point into something else? Because this is taking place in the beach. I can already see, I think, like Kagura. I can see the Millennium Festival girls. So this is definitely taking place at least like directly after Estival versus.
Yeah, more likely than not. And I think what would make sense for this is that, yes, they could do a sequel to this game. It could be its own line of Senran Kagura games, and I think I would love that. I would love to have a line of Senran Kagura games that are something different from the main series, but I do want the main series to remain. I do want, your usual action Senran Kagura games to work, and I think this works best for, like, the fact that they have plans to release VR and stuff like that. VR works with shooting, like, seriously, that is exactly what it works with. First-person games are probably the best games you're going to want to play on VR. They're kind of like the bread and butter for VR. A game like Senran Kagura, where, like, the usual Senran Kagura, you're probably not going to use VR unless, of course, you're in the swimsuit changing rooms and stuff like that. But this is what I'm thinking. This is like the reason to use VR, and I think it's a perfect mix. Plus, we're gonna get characters from, like, New Wave, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted New Wave characters. We're getting New Wave characters. I'm sold.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Yeah, I knew that was like your number one wish. It's just more characters.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Have you seen the girls from New Wave? They are really cute.
I have a picture on my computer that is like a collage of all of those different factions that don't exist in the video games yet. So believe me, I know.
Oh god, I mean, the New Wave girls, they're just there. I mean, I've already picked my favorite New Wave girls. Like, I already have my faves. So, like, hopefully they come into the game. I'm like, yeah, please be in there. That kind of stuff.
I mean, yeah, it is 30 plus characters, but granted, I mean, in Estival versus you had 36 characters, right? And so I'm assuming they're gonna go all the way to like maybe 40 or something. Who knows? Who
knows exactly? So this game comes out next year March, which is great. It's enough time for us to finish anything else we're doing and clear our schedules to just play Senran Kagura.
I mean, it's gonna come out in Japan, but we still don't know if like Xseed or anybody's gonna be involved in bringing it over in English, because it took them like a year and a half to bring Estival versus
mate,
in English.
Mate, don't put any bad juju beans out there. Like, let's just basically assume that everything is working nicely and everyone is like, yeah, we're bringing this to the US at the same time. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I'm gonna try and be realistic about this and say that it's gonna take at least a year for the game to come over to us. And besides, I'm kind of hoping that they do take a while, because by that time I'm just gonna be playing Persona 5.
Something? I forgot Persona 5. How the frack did I forget Persona 5? Wow.
February 2017, baby. I mean, there's so many games coming out now. It's exciting.
Exactly. But this video is going to be too long if we continue talking. If you guys want to hear us talk more about this, which we will, it will be on Etchicast. So if you guys want to hear us talk a lot more about this particular new Senran Kagura game and break it down, you can go over, you can listen to our podcast Etchicast on iTunes, or you can go read the article on the website. You can do both. You can read the article on the buttonsmashers.com.
I take as much information as I can, and I outline pretty much everything that was provided. Kenichiro Takaki was interviewed in the magazine, and so he says a bunch of stuff, so I recommend you go out there and read it, because there's also stuff about like a super limited edition pack and all that kind of stuff, so you can read up on that too.
Definitely. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Hit us a like, a subscribe, all that kind of beautiful stuff. And we're out of here. Okay?
Yeah, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you guys next time, and of course, inevitably when this game comes out, look out for our review of it.
Definitely.
Later. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give this video a like, and of course you can go to our website, thebuttonsmashers.com. We do news, we do reviews, and if you're a fan of podcasts, then be sure to visit that site, because we have a lot of them. All of that content is created by really fun people that love what they do, so we highly appreciate your support.